Minotaur clans in the area. Now, they also had a trade system with other, the humans, and so these weren't your typical, maze type of Minotaur. They were actually a really sophisticated civilization. Well, there was a lot of evil going on as well. And it's like I was saying, they were, worshiping an evil deity. And Baphomet. And Baphomet was basically all of these altar, this altar that you see here, this was just the front. Even though that they did worship this out in the middle, and other, people would come here to trade, they saw that they worshipped four good deities. But in all reality, they were worshiping Baphomet. So, and like I was saying last week, there were four deities that were worshipped. The first one obviously was Bahamut. There was Morden, he's also worshipped. There was Arathis, was worshipped, and Pelor. So those four are the deities that you guys knew when you guys were coming into here. That those were the four, basically, false gods that were represented. Now you also, what I was telling you last week, that these deities did not like this, because they eventually found out over time. They basically cursed this place and Baphomet, and that's when the Minotaur, this place went into ruins. And then over time, other caverns and dungeons that were being built in the Underdark literally ran into this place, and that's how it was rediscovered centuries later.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a refresher from last week.
Okay.
Okay, so I pull the ferret out and put him on the ground and let him do his little victory war dance.
A meteor comes down and smashes the weasel.
No, I grab him real quick and hug him and squeeze him and call his name George.
It scurries off, shouting freedom.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
I look at Ammonite and tell him to go check this hallway over here.
What, to the north?
Yes. How he's all sneaky and all.
Alright,
While he's doing that, I'm going to move into this next room and take a look at it, Dave.
Alright.
now, quick question, Dave.
Alright, so one at a time, guys. So let's go with, first, let's go with Ammonisis, because he was wanting to check something out. So let's go with him first, and then you'll be next there, Kevward.
Refresh my memory on how I can use my stealth ability.
Well, stealth works like this. You don't literally just poof, vanish like in an MMO like World of Warcraft. You just don't vanish. What you do is you use the shadows to your advantage. And, depending on your role, is how well you can actually conceal yourself. If it's a low roll, sure, you're going to think you're hidden, but you could accidentally bump into the wall, make a noise, trip, fumble, do whatever. Or if you roll high, they won't even see you coming. That's just how stealth works. But it can't be like a brightly lit room. Seeing that this is a dimly lit room because of the candles and the light coming in from the other room. Plus, you guys mostly have light vision anyway, except for the Dragonborn. So you're going to know if, and plus I'll let you know as well if you think you can actually use the shadows to your advantage. But yes, this place you're able to use the shadows to your advantage.
Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll nod to him and motion that I'm gonna start moving forward, And what I want to do is I want to run a stealth check, see if I can use the shadows and kind of move up to that hallway and kind of look both ways and see, if I notice anything.
Okay, go ahead and give me your stealth check, D20, and there you go. Wow, you're just free reign, man. You are moving. When you get up to the top, you really start to see. Well, you see a large dwarf statue. So that is to basically your northeast. To the left, there is a door as well. And as you come up to this hallway, this intersection, Eamon, you really get a sense of cold. Especially this wall of cold just hit you from the east. So as soon as you face the east, you can feel this really cold presence. And I mean, it's a drastic temperature change as well, probably 5 degrees.
So it's a physical change when I walk.
It is
when
a
I
physical
step into
change.
the hallway?
Correct.
Okay.
It is definitely a physical change. You're actually like, wow, brr. It's kind of nipply over here in this area of the of the dungeon.
So I can move like I am. Right.
So yeah, 1 second. Let me. I gotta check something on your token real quick.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. So you can see down the hall, correct?
I can see to here.
Okay. I need to check something really
That's it.
quick.
I can see the statue, and I can see the two light sources, and I can see a double door to a little bit to my south. That's what I can see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, that's about right, because that's really all that your vision is allowing you to see.
Okay.
So it just goes off into just pure darkness. But you do, like I was saying, to the northeast, you see a really large statue of a dwarf. Several more you can also see in this alcove that's kind of embedded into the northern wall. You can also see more candles flickering, but it's silent. You don't hear anything, but you do definitely feel as you come around this corner, you can definitely feel that the temperature is getting slightly colder.
Okay, so as I move more towards the statue, it gets a little bit colder than just when I walked in the hallway?
Correct, yeah. As you move 10 feet to the east, you could feel that's when you felt that it actually dropped about 5 degrees. So it was like a sudden drop in temperature. Sort of like, when you're in a house and you walk outside in the middle of winter, it's just kind of woof. Well, not like 50 below, but I mean, you're not to the point to where your teeth are clattering yet, so.
No. I'm gonna head back around the corner and just tell everybody what you just told me.
Okay. All right. So Kevward, what would you like to do now that you are in this room that you went through the double doors? You also see a what appears to be another altar. You see 4 green glowing magical runes on the floor as well.
I want to do an arcane check on the runes and on the statue.
Okay.
Or would the statue be a knowledge check?
Would be I'll let you do arcane or religion or one of those two. Yeah, you're not able to determine, who this is. But you probably think that it's probably another deity, but the deity is just at this point in time has has basically just slipped your mind. You're like, it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just don't know who it is.
Warlock, get in here.
All right, so what are you gonna do, Keladrin? I'm just gonna go right on down the line, guys. So.
Hey, Dave.
I am going to stand back here towards the back and guard our rear, make sure nobody sneaks up on us.
Okay. How about you there, more gas? More gas.
I'm going to ask him what he was looking at, and maybe I can look at it, and maybe I can tell what it is. Was he looking at the altar or the things on the...
I was looking at both, the runes and the altar.
Okay, well, I'll do that then.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I do a religion check on it?
Sure, I'll let you do one after Dirt's done. So, Dirt, you're able to tell that the statue here in this room, as you get into the room a little bit more, you can tell that this is the god Arathis, which is the god of civilization and empire. Also on this altar, there is a basin of clear water. Sort of like several cups of water on the altar as well.
And I explained to them who God represents, and there's a couple of weird cups of water on the altar, guys.
Yeah, you're not too sure what's actually in the cups because you are about 15 feet away, so technically you can see that there's a couple of cups.
I run over there and grab it and drink it. Just
I wouldn't do that.
I forgot
Has
to
anybody
put on the
checked
crowbars.
these runes on the floor?
So is anyone walking up to the altar or to find out what is in these cups, even though I've told you guys that there is water in the cups?
Just kidding.
What appears to...
Alright, so yes, you do know that there is water in the cups now. Alright, so now let's go with rounds. What are you doing?
Has anybody checked the runes on the floor?
Kevward tried to, but he just couldn't really figure anything out. He was doing calculations and he had his spell book out and nothing rung a bell.
God, their handwriting is terrible here on the floor. No.
Huh.
That's why I'm blaming it on bad handwriting.
I'll go ahead and see if I can make anything out on them.
Okay, so what kind of roll are you gonna do, and what are you actually looking for as well with the runes? Are you gonna do an arcane, a religion, or any kind of other skill check? Maybe an acrobatics tumbling across the
I'm gonna do
runes?
a religion check and see if they have if there are any kind of religious writings or if they have any meaning or anything.
Okay. Oh man, lucky roll. You are actually able to identify these as runes that actually represent the civilization, justice, creation, and war. So these are basically ancient religious symbols that they do represent civilization, justice, creation, and war.
Judging by the altars that we've seen so far, would you say that these represent the deities that were worshipped here?
It does not. You're able to determine this is just for Arathis, and you also know that these runes could possibly enhance you as well, because these runes have some other hidden meanings as well. Seeing that your check was really good, I mean, it was really good. There's also some other hidden inscriptions within these runes, runes that represent hope, life, the sun, and time itself. And you're able to determine that these runes, if you are to actually rest, you could possibly have a heal from the heavens, or you could possibly gain some type of benefit from Arathis, the deity itself.
Okay, I let the group know what I've learned, that we could possibly use this place as a resting area that end up stronger or something.
Hey, Dave, I have
Hey.
a question. Are
Sure.
these runes tied with the statue, or can we mark these runes anywhere and have the benefit of the runes?
No, actually, these are sort of engraved into the floor itself, and then it does have. Obviously, it does have a magical property because of the green aura that the rune has itself. So
Okay,
it's not like a classic clear tile just thrown down on the ground and you can just pick it up and take it with you. These are actually
no, I
etched
mean-
into the floor.
I mean, if we draw these in sort of like some room or some dirt where we rest, do we get the same
you
benefit,
could
or
you could try it. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, you guys might be able to try that. I'll let you guys, especially whoever wants to write it down on it. If you have a piece of parchment or something on your sheet, sure, absolutely,
I'll do
you
it.
can do that.
I got my spell book.
Okay. You can definitely try. I mean, it's worth a try. It may work, it may not work. You just don't know.
You said one of them, or I asked him. You said one of these was a rune of war.
Yes.
Can he point it out to me?
Oh, just one of them. It doesn't, we'll just say this
I'll
one
say
is.
it's this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
That one.
That's fine. That's
okay. Well,
okay.
I get over there and I sit down on it just to see what happens.
Nothing happens. You don't feel anything overcome you. You feel a sense of security. You feel like a small sense of warmth as well.
Okay. Well, I stand up and I tell the group, look, I sat on it and this is kind of what I felt. Seeing if anybody, gets any sort of insight off of my foolish, I just jumped on a rune action.
Well, I mean, I
All of a
said
sudden,
they were
your
all right.
ass catches on fire. I'm just kidding.
I run around in a circle.
I am kidding.
Where's a fountain I can jump in?
No more fountains.
I'm gonna go ahead and move into the next room.
Okay. You also see a door to your north as well, and there's no tapestry on this door. Now, the door that you just went through also had several tapestries, and the doors were opened up just recently because you can see that the door actually kind of moved the dust to where the door slid the dust. So
I point to the door to the north and just tell everybody that I think that's the door that when I stealthed up and walked into the cold hallway, that I think that's the door that I saw. Is it just leads into this room?
okay, that's a good possibility. And in fact, if you would like to give me an engineering check, that would be a great time to do an engineering check. Actually, we don't use engineering that much.
I know. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Congratulations, Gimlet, on your 70 points. Congrats, big
Yeah.
time.
Would it be dungeoneering? Because I don't have engineering.
Engineering.
Pretty sure it's dungeoneering.
It's dungeoneering. It's not engineering.
Yeah.
It's dungeoneering.
Damn, I wish I would have thought of that. I have a bonus of that.
You got dungeoneering. It's right under diplomacy.
Mhm.
And you got dungeoneering. You got a +2. You're able to definitely determine that that's the door that you saw. So there you go. There's your dungeoneering check.
I do a little boogie dance, shake my butt, and say, "Look, I found something."
So
That's nothing.
we're going to go back to turn-based now for this. So rounds, as you enter this room, you notice immediately, I mean right off the bat, this statue is of your deity Pelor.
Sweet.
Sweet. And there are 4 more symbols on the floor here as well. And these are basically 4 elements that are depicting the elements.
Okay, I want to take my chalk out, and I look at this door that to the north, and I want to just draw from one door to the other, just a little straight line. And the idea is if we ever have to come terrassing back through here, I want to be able to quickly look at that line and see if it's misaligned, as in something came through it.
Like on the floor, because there is quite a bit of dust on the floor. I mean, are you wanting to do that on the floor or on the door itself?
Across the door, from one door to the other, just in a horizontal little straight mark.
Okay, like a piece of chalk or something. Just
yeah, I've got chalk in my inventory. Just something
Okay.
to where if I see it and I can quickly notice that those chalk marks don't line up anymore, I'll know something came through there.
all right. You also notice, actually, Almond, that it is quite warmer in these little rooms as well. It's not as cold as up to the north. All right, so back to Ron's. What do you want to do with this altar? I mean, you know that this is, the runes are of Pelor. In her lore, it talks about the 4 seasons, and night and day, and all that other good stuff. Just about life itself.
I'll do a religion check on it.
Well, I mean, there's really
Even though I already
I'm not going to make you do a religion. Now, if it was somebody else like Almond or Kevward, I'm going to make them do a religion check. But seeing this is your deity, Pelor,
I'll take a knee and pray for
which
a
is
little bit.
the god of the sun and agriculture.
I'm gonna go back to Cal and I'm gonna tell him, look, I'll take the rear watch for a few minutes if you want to go up front.
Right. And also on this altar as well, there is an empty cup, sort of like the cups in the other room, back where Arathis had on her altar.
Hey, Dave, I want to loot through this altar and see if I can find anything.
You rummage through the altar? No, you don't see anything but just candles and actually on the altar of Arathis.
My hammer at
Oh, you're talking about you want to rummage through the Pelor altar. Yeah, you see the warlock go over to the altar and start lifting up the candles and looking
I
for.
say you better stop that, or you're gonna get a hammer in the face.
Ooh. And then actually give me a perception check, Mr. Morgas. Dirt's filling in for the night, everyone, and the warlock's name is Morgath, but Dirt has renamed the warlock Morgas for one night. All right, Morgas, you're able to determine as the dwarf turns towards you, you can see that the symbol on his shield and on his chest piece represents the same symbol that is on this altar. So you are able to determine that this altar is of the cleric's deity. Which is kind of weird because you know that most dwarves follow the dwarvish god, the creator god Moradin. So it's kind of weird seeing a dwarf celebrating the deity Pelor. But you are able to recognize that maybe you might not want to mess with Pelor's stuff.
So I look at him and I say, so what's your deal with this chick?
Deity that I worship.
I hope you guys are enjoying the game
and
tonight
from
as
a
well.
distance, I hear the word
Yes, and it is
shit,
Morgas.
and I'm gonna
It's so
start moving
funny.
towards it.
Dave, I want to do an arcane check on the runes. See if
Okay. Sounds like a winner to me.
Hey,
As you're looking up these symbols, you can actually find some other inscriptions in your spell book, and you know that these runes have magical properties. And you also are able to determine that even though these symbols represent, air, water, earth, fire, night, day, storms, sunny weather, that if you rested on these runes, it could possibly give you some kind of protection from the deity Pelor.
from the deity.
From the god Pelor, yes. Sort of like a blessing from Pelor.
Okay, and then I'll do the same. I'll take another page out, not out of my spell book, but in my spell book, and write the runes down as well.
All right. Welcome back, Rex.
I mean, it's worth a shot at this point.
And make sure you guys are getting into the raffle. Tonight's game is a good one. It's Sanctum. I'm not too sure what the
I look back, I notice everybody's
up
pretty
to.
much in the other room. So
75. That's
look
it.
at the 2 cups of
Gosh,
water,
that's nothing.
and I take my bow and I kind of lift it up, and I tip one of the glasses of water over and then start looking around and whistling.
I added 5 points to your Rex because you only had 4. So everybody make sure you get into the lottery. And there you go. You can get into it now as well, Rex, because you didn't have enough points. Now you do. Compliments of me. Anybody else doing anything? How about you, Mr. Sore Throat? I'm trying not to have you talk as least as possible.
No, that's
Because
okay.
I know you're.
It doesn't.
Actually, I do want to ask the Dragonborn a question. Why did those kobolds hiss at you when they saw the symbol on your shield? What's the symbol on your shield that caused them to hiss so?
The symbol on my shield is for my deity, Bahamut.
That's why.
Man, you were really losing your voice. After learning,
It doesn't hurt at all.
Sorry. After learning of the magical properties of these runes, I decided to take a short rest while praying to Helor.
All right.
I'm gonna go up to this northern wall and check it to see if I can spot anything, out of the ordinary with the wall itself.
To the door to the north here, and you also see a door to the east
Oh, is
as
that
well.
a door?
Yeah, it's a door. Now, this door to the north doesn't have any tapestries over it. Now, the door on the east doesn't either. These are just plain double wooden doors.
So the door that I am standing in front of, does that have tapestries in front of it?
No, it doesn't. The only thing that has the tapestries are the middle doorways, basically the intersecting doors between the rooms. So there's those 2 doors. They have, they're the ones that have the tapestries. The third door, which is in the other room that you're not in, Amin, that does not have tapestries.
While I'm standing
Oh, that's awesome, Rex.
here, kind of
Hey,
guarding
Rex,
the back,
stop by
I wanna
Sunday
look at the
for a viewer
tapestry
game.
a little bit deeper.
I get the viewers in the games as well, so if you haven't played in 20 years, it's no problem, man. You're always more than welcome to play. Every Sunday we do viewer games.
Just for the GM, in the World Corner.
That would be /W space GM or Dave or.
So that's a perception for the tapestry.
No, just designs of, just Minotaur stuff. Minotaurs standing there with, big axes or two-handed swords. So, to get back to, real quick, to get back to Morgas, did you follow up on anything after he let you know that this altar was of his deity Pelor?
I stopped rummaging through it.
Thank you very much for the follow, Rex. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the
And I
community,
just
man.
pointed out that
Hope
it's
to see you
kinda
more.
weird that somebody of his
Hope to see you more, man.
class would be using her as their deity.
It's not totally a one of a kind thing to see a dwarf, celebrating another deity. But it's definitely not. It's not common either. So it does happen, but it's just a little odd. Because, probably 85% of dwarves, I would say, probably 85 to 90% of dwarves probably celebrate Moradin.